All right, welcome back to Sunrise. So our next guest this morning is attorney at law and IVF parent Alison Smith, who will be sharing her experience with in vitro fertilization, IVF, and the joys and challenges of raising twins. So we will explore the emotional and practical aspects of choosing IVF, the decision-making process behind starting a family through alternative methods, and offer advice for those considering similar options. Alison, good morning. Welcome
Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for having me.
So we know, we mentioned that it's an alternative method to getting pregnant. But for those who may not know, walk us through what is IVF?
IVF, in vitro fertilization, it is an alternative method. So in my case, I used a donor, but you can, if you have a partner already, you can, do it with your partner. And it's, basically you're fertilizing your egg with the donation and then, an implantation of the embryo, and then, you have your baby, hopefully.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to know, what led you to choose this path. And, I know lots of women are watching, and, some women might just need a little, direction or, more understanding of the why. So why was this your chosen method?
I chose IVF because I was in a very long-term relationship and the person I was with did not want to have kids. And I didn't realize that. People ask me all the time, you guys didn't talk about having kids? And I'm an attorney, and I was so focused on the practice of law and becoming a partner, which I'm a partner in my firm now. First woman of color to be partner in my firm, so I had to work very hard for that. And so I was focused on that. But by the time I got to the point where I was thinking about, really thinking about having kids, my partner that I was with for a long time from here, from high school, did not want to have kids. And so I had heard about IVF before, just heard about it. And then I thought, okay, I need to kind of take matters into my own hands because there's nobody else around. I was over 35, which is generally you ladies know.
What are geriatric pregnancies?
Yes,
Isn't that crazy?
Yes. It's crazy, yes. They call it, they call it geriatric pregnancies, but they also call it another thing. I can't remember the name now, I'm blanking. But basically it suggests that you're older. And you are, just from the biological perspective, it's harder to have a baby. So that's basically why. Sometimes it's not easy, even when you're over 35, if you're doing it the natural way to conceive. So sometimes you'll need some intervention, medical intervention to help you.
Like that.
What are some of the emotional challenges that you faced in doing the whole process? Because it involves injecting hormones and egg retrieval and so on. Walk us through that.
So, I was very fortunate. One of the things I would say in terms of practical advice is that you need a tribe, you need people who can help you. Hopefully you had somebody who did it before or who's going through the process. So believe it or not, I had a bunch of girlfriends. We're basically all attorneys who did egg retrievals before, where they're freezing their eggs. So they kind of told me, even that, this is years before me. So I kind of had them, and then my younger sister is a physician. And so she doesn't do, of course, fertility, but she's a pulmonologist, but she understands, just medicine and biology. And so she was there along the way.
So
I would say, so great resource. So I would say, have resources, have people who can actually help you to figure out what you want to do or what you're doing.
I think this is so great. I love that you said, okay, fine, I might not have the partner in place, but I still believe that I want to have this experience as a mother. I can still be a great mother to my children. And let's talk about the children a second. When you hear that you're expecting twins, many people don't know how that feels, because maybe tell you cold sweat didn't wash me.
Cold sweat did wash me, yes. Cold sweat did absolutely wash me. The woman, yes, I went in. You have to go for a confirmation. First of all, they tell you not to test. You're not really supposed to take a pregnancy test. You're supposed to wait. I don't think anybody waits.
No, I don't think anybody waits.
You test and test a million times. And so I tested and it came up positive. Then I was like, yay, right? But then you have to go in and get the confirmation, and I got the confirmation, and the doctor said to me she said to me,
what if
yes, she said, what if I said it was twins? And I was like, it's not twins, man. And she said, okay, let's see. And she started laughing immediately, and she goes, it's twins.
Wow.
And when I tell you, I blanked out. I just blanked out. And she said, they're baby A and baby B. Wow. And she literally was like, don't you want to take a picture? Because I was just frozen. She's like, don't you want to take a picture of her or anything? Or
shock.
Yes, shock, total shock.
I have to ask though, because my brain just went there. Is it that they implanted more than one egg?
No.
Or they implanted one and there was a split? That's why you were so shocked.
Split. Yeah.
Or not an egg, an embryo.
Embryo.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yes.
Split. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was completely shocked. I mean, I literally took the day off of work.
Yeah, I would have taken the year, okay? Let me tell you. We've spoken about, some of the things we can expect, but what are some of the common misconceptions maybe about IVF?
That it works all the time. I would say that's the biggest one. So my friend did it 5 times. 5 times, literally to the point where she got hospitalized eventually. And she was doing it kind of like back to back. Because, one of the things that I've discovered through this whole thing is how many women struggle with infertility.
Yes.
And the shame that's associated with not being able to have a baby. And that's so, it just breaks my heart. And honestly, like, I'm a very private person, but I talk about it because of that. Because once people knew that that's what I did, I cannot tell you how many women came up to me and said,
opened up. Yeah.
One woman that I've known for years, she came to me and she said, my daughter is adopted. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that because there's shame. I'm a woman and I can't produce a child. Like, that's why I was created, to produce a baby. And people are hiding it. Somebody else came up to me, I spent so much money on IVF and it didn't work. And I was devastated and, things like that. So I would say, it doesn't always work.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to manage your expectations. And in the US, it's not covered. It's not covered by insurance. There's no subsidy for that. So you have to figure out your finances.
Right.
And then you have to think in the future, because you have to think about once the baby is here.
Yeah.
How are you going to support this child? Not just financially, but emotionally. Like, who's going to be your tribe?
Right.
And for me, I'm like I said, I'm fortunate. My younger sister, she's a physician. The older one is an attorney like me. None of them have kids.
Right.
So these children are extremely spoiled because they're the only kids.
Right.
Yeah.
So and I knew that ahead of time.
Right.
And my sisters love my kids, and my mom was so excited. My mother, who's like the traditional Jamaican, when I told her, she was like, "What?" And I waited like 14 weeks. I told her when I was 14 weeks pregnant, and she was like, "What? What is that?" And then I said,
What that mean?
"You're right. What?" And then I told her, I said, "Mom, I'm having twins," and she was washing dishes, and she threw everything down, and she was like, "Let me see the belly." And she,
I love that.
and it was so great. Yeah, it was so great. And everybody's been super supportive, so that's been really good.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Of
And
course.
we don't know sometimes who is hearing or who you've inspired today, or just, I love brave women. They're my favorite on the planet. And so thank you for sharing that story with us and being brave. And love to your 2 little 4-year-old identical girls.
Pray for me,
God help
Dave.
you.
Put me on your prayer list. Yeah.
Let me just give an honorable mention.
Sure.
So for anyone who was watching this and maybe said, maybe this is an option for me, we do have a very good fertility unit right here in Jamaica, up at the University Hospital of the West Indies. It is the Hugh Winter Fertility Clinic. Maybe give a call, ask some questions.
Definitely.
And as Tami just said, it's okay to be brave.
Yes, indeed. Our special guest this morning has been Alison Smith, attorney at law and IVF parent. TK is on standby with the news. More Sunrise when we return. Amazing.